Welcome to our podcast on divine wisdom. Today we'll discuss about Christian wisdom and a little bit about confidence. I'm Mikhail.
I'm Colin.
And I'm Aaron.
A lot of people in the world struggle with knowing what to do, what actions should be taken in a given situation. They struggle with distinguishing right from wrong. Without wisdom, we may act unwisely, making poor decisions that have harmful and adverse consequences for ourselves, for others, and for our relationship with God. That's why the topic of wisdom is such an important and crucial thing for us to understand. In fact, entire books in the Bible talk about wisdom. So let's start with a very important Bible verse about wisdom. Proverbs 1 verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. What do you think this means?
I think that is a very deep, multifaceted Bible verse. So first of all the fear of the Lord means respect, reverence, and awe towards God and His character. Because of this reverence we humble ourselves and acknowledge God's authority and righteousness. When we acknowledge God's authority, this means we trust Him and follow His command. This is the beginning of knowledge, which means that we can only live wisely and have a proper guidance if we fear the Lord. So we should not reject God's wisdom and we should re- not rely on our own.
And yes, I also agree with Colin. And another Bible verse that focuses on this too, which is from Proverbs 3 5 till 7, which reads, Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. So this Bible verse highlights that we must trust God. We must not follow our own knowledge and understandings, our own earthly wisdom, which leads us astray. God's wisdom allows us to make sound decisions and act wisely.
It's interesting that you brought up Proverbs 3 verse 5 to 7 because it really strengthens the meaning of Proverbs 1 verse 7 that Colin explained before. Proverbs 1 verse 7 presents the dichotomy, the contrast between having the fear of the Lord and not having the fear of the Lord. Those who fear the Lord, those who have reverence for Him and let His wisdom guide them, are called wise. Meanwhile, those who don't fear the Lord, those who despise the Lord's guidance and instructions, are regarded as fools. They don't have wisdom. Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 7 expands on this aspect, presenting the same dichotomy, but instead it now focuses between trusting God's wisdom and trusting our own understanding. It reminds us and it warns us that we should not lean on our own understandings. We shouldn't be wise in our own eyes. This means that we shouldn't be prideful, thinking that we know better than God. Instead, we must have the fear of the Lord. We should be humble. We should acknowledge our limitations, our flaws, our imperfections, and we must recognize that proper wisdom comes solely from God. We shouldn't lean on our own flawed understanding and judgment.
Yes, this actually brings us to our next topic about confidence. The passage does state that we, the Lord, will direct our paths, but the Bible is full of other pieces of wisdom, and a lot of Bible verses reminds us that the timeless truth can bring us confidence.
That's true. And one of them is Philippians 4:3. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This verse reminds us that God is with us, and this verse reminds us that God strengthens us. So when we feel hopeless, demotivated, or anxious about facing our fears and challenges, note that God is with us. He will not abandon us. By relying on God's strength, we can go through all difficulties and be confident with our choices.
Another Bible verse I found that supports our topic is Isaiah 41:10, which reads, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." So, this is another powerful reminder for us to be confident in God's strength and support. We should not fear, we should not be dismayed, and God will strengthen and help us. Let us be confident because no matter what we face, we can always rely on God's limitless strength. If God is for us, who can be against us, right?
Also, we should remind ourselves that this confidence comes from trusting God. This confidence doesn't come just because you're capable, because you're strong, or because there's other people who are supporting you. Yes, these things can be good. In fact, God can use them to provide us with confidence. But we should not base our confidence on these things. For example, what if you're confident just because you know that you're capable, because maybe you're intelligent or you're just capable of handling a situation. But what if you find yourself in a situation where you're powerless, when you know that you're not capable, or where you're not sure that you can go through it? What if there's no one supporting you? What if you're just alone, facing this struggle? If your ultimate foundation for confidence is yourself or other people's support, then when those things disappear, when you don't have those things, then you don't have a foundation. Your foundation for confidence crumbles, which means that you won't be confident. That's why we have to put our trust and confidence in God. God is eternal and all powerful, and He promised us that He will always help us and strengthen us in all circumstances. This is the most stable foundation you're going to have. This gives us confidence and also relief because it teaches us that we don't have to be strong. We can always rely on God. Confidence doesn't mean we have to be strong alone because God is there for you. God will always be there for you and you can trust Him.
Also, another key thing is prayers. Ask God for strength and confidence in prayer and trust that He will provide everything that you will need.
Well, I think that's enough from us today. So we want to close this podcast by saying thank you for listening. And we hope that our message today is beneficial about wisdom and confidence and also can help encourage and uplift you. See you in our next podcast.